Collie Training Journal, day 208, Collie 100 Strikes. Today's practice, I focused on repetition. Now, this practice may look really, really boring, and sometimes repetition can be really boring. What this practice did for me was it helped me to have a benchmark to aim for so that I pushed through and reached the goal of how many strikes I wanted to do. I wanted to get to 100 strikes in my striking angles 1 to 4. And as I got tired and I started to feel fatigued, I kept pushing forward. 1, for accountability, because I knew I was recording this. And 2, because I knew I wanted to get to 100 strikes. So this says a few different things. 1, it says that when you set your mind to do something and you have accountability, you're most likely going to reach the goal that you have set. Now, having an accountability partner is huge for making sure that you're reaching your goals. Having somebody to check in with you and for you to tell them you did or didn't reach your goals is a huge motivator. Now, we've talked about motivation and how motivation is not a standalone thing to get the job done. But when you have an accountability partner, most people do not want to tell that person that they did not reach their goal. And they definitely don't want to give an explanation for why they didn't reach their goal. This is a big part of why accountability partners are so essential for you moving the needle forward and reaching your goals. If you think about any situation you've ever been in where you've had to report out on how you did, what you accomplished, and what you didn't accomplish, we find that there is more success. Now, for me, the accountability is stating that I'm going to do something and then being able to record it in the way that I am. That's part of why I came up with the Collie Training Journal. And it also is part of that progress. If you want to make progress, if you want to lose X number of pounds, if you want to make X amount of money, whatever that goal might be, if you have somebody there that's checking in with you and asking you to be accountable to them, you're going to be more successful. If you set the bar high enough, you will push to achieve that with somebody that's holding you accountable. One of the things that just rolled out in the sales position that I work in is that they want certain pieces of data collected. 1, so they can find out whether or not the system is working. And 2, so that they can make sure that those who are working are rewarded. Now, this is an important piece of accountability as well. We get a reward from being told, good job, you did it, that's great. Or simply being able to say, yeah, I got it done. Now, do you always need to have an accountability partner? No, I don't believe that you do. If you can hold yourself accountable, which is another level of being responsibility and taking personal accountability, then you're not going to need somebody else there holding your hand and telling you, good job, you did it, or asking you, okay, why didn't you get that done today? You're going to be holding yourself accountable. And eventually this becomes a habit. And this is where you move from needing somebody else to be your accountability partner versus being your own accountability partner. Being able to reflect back on the day and be like, why did this work? Why didn't it work? And what's the gap? What gap do I need to fill tomorrow that I didn't fill today? When you set a goal high enough, you will do what it takes to get there. Sometimes it just takes a minute. Don't give up on yourself. Your failures teach you more than your successes do. So be willing and open and vulnerable enough to be okay with your failures. Be okay with doing something wrong because you're not going to do it right every single time, and you're definitely not going to do it right in the learning process. As I was watching the playback of my strikes today, and as I was rotating around, counting up 100 sets of these strikes, I could see and feel when my strike was off. And because I kept going in a flow, I couldn't always quickly identify exactly where I made the mistake, but I knew that the next time I came back to that strike, I was going to make it a little bit better. Now, does this always work effectively? I don't know. I'm going to keep trying this, and you will most likely see more videos with more repetition in them, like this one, because the repetition is what makes a difference. It's what helps to drive in those skills as long as you're doing the movement correctly. Kali means a lot to me, and I intend in making this more apparent moving forward. If you haven't already, please be sure to hit that like, subscribe, and share button. I love your support, and it helps me continue to be able to make these videos and spread the information to others. We'll see you next time.